me that is there any recipe of spirituality? How do I become spiritual? What is spiritual transformation? Um, how do I move out of my daily drama and become spiritual and so on? So I was giving a very deep thought over a long time. And when last time Ria approached me of a session, then I thought, why not talk about this particular session on spiritual transformation? Because this could be interesting to many people. And this entire PPT, this presentation, discussion, whatever we are going to have now, is completely based on um, my experience. Of course, nothing is possible without divine intervention. But the things that I thought are very, very fundamental and important for spiritual transformation, that these are the points that I'll be discussing. So there are several things that comes in mind, and some of the things, as you see here, unconditional is common to everything, and you see an innocent mind in between, in the middle, thinking what is more important, whether unconditional love is more important, unconditional service is important, unconditional forgiveness is important, humility, intention, faith, expectations, what, how. So all of these have their own role to play, perhaps even more. But I would like to talk about these few things that you see here, these eight things, eight or nine things that you see here. And there is a sequence in which I have scheduled the whole session today to discuss about my thoughts, my understanding. I may be wrong, but I'm sharing my thoughts with all of you. First comes, I think, in my mind, the first thing is expectation. Uh, and in expectation, there are a lot of things that go, especially when you are starting your spiritual journey. Um, it is very important to understand, did you plan your journey well? So it is not about the destination where you want to reach, because the destination keeps on changing. The first destination could be, I want to be spiritual, without knowing what is spirituality. So when somebody wants to come out as I told you, the daily ruckus, the daily drama of office, of family, and all that. So people just sometimes, not all, I mean, many a times, people want to find a escape mechanism in spirituality. So, oh, I want to be spiritual. Maybe that will give me more peace of mind. Now, in the journey of spirituality, oftentimes, co-passengers matter a lot, with whom I am practicing spirituality. Or sometimes the people whom I am with may either pull me down, or they may pull me up. So, whom am I with? What is my company? And who is pulling me up is very important. Obviously speaking, people who tend to pull me down in the path of spirituality, in the path of divinity, are definitely not the right co-passengers for me. So selecting the right co-passengers is also very important. Destination is not important. Journey is very important of spirituality, because the destination, nobody knows the destination quite well. Neither do I. Nobody knows. And every person may have a different destination also. And there is no single station of spirituality. There could be several stations in several realms. So destination is not the ulterior thing. It is the travel, the journey, and the right vehicle. Here, the right vehicle is, who is guiding you in your path of spirituality. Now, many a times we see that the people who are guiding us in our path of spirituality are themselves so troubled that you feel like, boss, kahan phas gaya? Where am I stuck? Now, the person who is guiding you in the path of spirituality sets some, I mean, there could be possibility, I've heard from many, set some weird targets, weird expectations. And instead of feeling the independence, the freedom through spirituality, You feel more entangled and you feel, oh my God, if my guru is annoyed with me, if my guru is upset with me, then what do I do? It is most of the time how to make the guru feel good rather than you moving up your value chain. So finding the right guru, finding the right vehicle is very important. And many times, many of us don't reach our destinations or don't even enjoy the journey because we are on a wrong vehicle. So if you feel that you're in a wrong vehicle, then perhaps it is important for you to change the vehicle, if required, change the co-passengers and enjoy the journey. Now, you may be having a thought in your mind, how do I understand that I am not with the right guru? So there are two or three factors that will help you understand whether you are with the right guru. First and foremost, do you feel the inner joy, the inner satisfaction being with the person who is guiding you? And of course, it is clearly understandable. It is not the physical presence of the guru, of the person, or the vehicle. It is the aura of the guru, the aura of the person who is guiding you. Do you feel free? Do you feel elated? Do you have that sense of ecstasy as you travel with the guru? So that is something that is very important. And in the path, of course, if you're in the path of spirituality, of course, there will be tests. Of course, you will be having very difficult exams, much difficult than your BSc, MSc, and PhD exams. So these exams, these tests, which will be posed by the divine, are to test. Are you serious? Because if you are not serious, perhaps up to a level it is fine, but beyond that level, you can't. So just like the picture as you see there, up to a level you can climb yourself, but after that you need a hand. And after that, even the hand is not enough. You need oxygen cylinder because you're very high up and oxygen deficiency could be there. So are you in a position to travel with your big backpack behind, with the oxygen cylinder, with the person, with the mask, all of that? Are you ready for that? Unless you're physically fit, you cannot travel so much. So that is why these tests will be there in between. Tests can be in different forms. Sometimes these are materialistic temptations, distractions, and sometimes it is the family pressure. Sometimes it is, it comes in various forms. For example, in today's session, quite a few of my friends, they said that they will come, but they could not come. And this is something that is known. Obviously, it will be like that. So these are certain distractions and temptations and sometimes even obligations. You just can't. Like I was conducting a session a week back and one of my friend attended the session and within 15 minutes she was out of the session. So later on, I mean, I think on the message group itself, she said, "Oh, I had unexpected guests at home." These are the tests. I mean, it is a dilemma. You can't tell your guests, you know what, please wait, I'm in a session. And neither will you be able to enjoy the session because guests are there who are waiting. So the tests are tough. Okay. So if you are able to set your expectations right, your goals right, much of the movement becomes easier. Then comes intention. Spirituality is much about activity with the superconscious mind. Now, moving from the conscious mind to the superconscious mind, giving the superconscious mind more importance, more weightage, even when you are conscious, is not an easy call, is not an easy decision. So, what is the way out? The way out is you should have the right intention, the right reasoning. Why are you in this path? Why do you want to do it? If your goals are set right, the reasoning is correct, You even saw in the map of consciousness. It is reasoning that connects the left brain with the right brain. So if your reasoning is strong enough, why you want to do it, then the intention become even stronger. Then the connection of the conscious mind with the superconscious mind is like a smooth flow, seamless. You will not feel any jerks. Is it, you will feel as if it is a automatic transformation going on because nothing is forced. You are enjoying the journey then. The moment you start enjoying the journey a bit, what creeps in is arrogance, ego. Now, this is very, very dangerous. And there are tons and tons of human beings who have been a victim of arrogance and ego. Once they start thinking, it is me, I, I. I have gone through the same, and I'm sure many of you in this platform might have also gone through the same. So the moment you realize, so spiritual humility is different than humility in office and humility at home and all that. Here we are talking about ultimate humility. So once you realize you are just nobody, automatically you will become humble. Once you realize that you are just a bearer of an information, you are just a postman, you are just somebody in between, and your job is just to act as a postman. And because you are a postman, you have to wear a postman's dress. And because you are a postman, you need to know what are you carrying. Because you are a postman, you have to realize what is the sensitivity of the thing that you're carrying with you to pass it on to somebody else. That is the transformation that happens within. But when the transformation happens within, if the postman wears the postman's dress and starts thinking that the material that I'm carrying for another person is mine, I don't need to complete the sentence. So humility is all about understanding, realizing, feeling deep inside that it is not me. Before I start every session, I pray to the divine. All of you know. Please use my mouth, please use my voice. But it is you who should speak, not me. If I speak, my arrogance will come out. My ego will come out. I, me, I. No, it is not me. Once you realize that, once you have the right expectation set, you have your intentions in place, reasoning is there, and also humility is there that it is not me, the purpose is set correct. Then all that you need is the faith. Faith that yes, I can, because it is not me. It is the divine power, it is the divine help. It is my higher self. I've seen many friends and my students. They say that suppose they are trying to open their third eye, or they are trying to open their heart, or they're trying to align their chakras, or so many different things, or in the path of healing and so on. Oh, it is not happening. First of all, that feeling of, oh, it is not happening is a wrong feeling. Everything happens. But the point is, do I have the faith that it will happen? Once you have the faith that it will happen, you don't look for a date that it will happen in 3 days or 5 days or 10 days. Once you have the faith, you start enjoying the journey, not the destination. You will feel the journey. And believe me, that is amazing. Now, if faith can dominate your mind, your conscious mind, then all the realms of heavens will conspire to make it happen. But the struggle that we always have is the fight, or is the dichotomy between the left brain and the right brain, the logic and the feeling. So faith plays a very, very important role here. Yes, it will happen. And it will happen because it is not me who is making it happen. The trust, the faith converts the purpose to spiritual transformation, even through active consciousness. Happiness. Now, this is very important because if you are in a low state of being, the vibrations of spirituality get shattered. So you all know the map of consciousness, and the higher consciousness you see in the left hand side. I've given the higher levels of consciousness, starting from courage, moving up. But as I told you earlier also, the main element in the levels of truth is reason. That is why it is magnified. If you have the right reason, then happiness can transform your life. But you know, it is very, very easy to slide down like a baby, feel very happy and elated that I have entered into a state of grief. And then, oh, poor me. And I'm sure there is no human being on earth who has never felt, oh, poor me. We all have gone through that, poor me. And the moment we are in that poor me zone, a cycle of shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, all this goes on and on in a loop. And it is a never ending loop. It's like an orbit. You are rotating in the same orbit because you are poor me. So, as I discussed earlier also, you need a strong propelling force that will push you out of the orbit. And what that can be other than reason. The reason why you have to come out of that grief and sorrow and guilt, you need a big bang there, move out of that, take the escalator and go up to the levels of enlightenment, peace, joy, and love. Escalator is always there. It is we who don't want to take it. So the lower layers of emotions, the level of falsehood, as we call it, shame, guilt, apathy, grief, and so on, they are extremely infectious and they spread very fast and they can actually grab you totally. You need the right reason to push yourself out of it and then move to the levels, take the escalator, move to the levels of enlightenment, peace, joy, and love. So happiness is not in gliding down, sliding down into the lower layers of emotions. That is not called happiness. Oh, I'm okay in my small zone. No. Happiness is not momentary. Happiness is deep inside, and happiness is irrespective of everything. As you know, all the layers of truth are within me. I am responsible for it. Same is happiness. I am responsible for my happiness. So I am creating the aura around me to remain happy. If it is not happening, who is to be blamed? Who is to be responsible? Me. Of course, I am responsible for it. And if you are happy, you spread happiness. And you cannot spread love if you yourself, you are not happy. There are so many different forms of love. But love has a prerequisite. The prerequisite of love is happiness. If you're not happy within, you cannot spread love. And many times you must have seen for yourself how love spreads when you are happy. Very simple reason. You get a promotion, momentary happiness. You distribute sweets. Distribution of sweets is love. It happened because you were happy. That is momentary happiness. There is another very important form of happiness, love, especially if you're talking about unconditional love. The unconditional love has an element of sacrifice. And then again, all the other forms are along with it. The faith, the intention, the expectations. If you have the faith in the divine, then love will manifest in the form of sacrifice. And in that sacrifice, you will find immense joy, immense happiness. We all love our dear ones. And much of this love, within quote unquote, is unconditional. And what not we sacrifice for them? We do. So love manifests in the form of sacrifice often. Love also manifests in giving. Love manifests in letting go. If you keep on thinking, harping on, oh, he did this, so I did this, so then you will not be able to let go. And if you are not able to let go, there is no love. Just like all other forms, love is not to be expressed for a minute, for 2 minutes, or 5 minutes. It is eternal. And come what may, when you say, yes, I love somebody or something, it is irrespective of everything. I'm sure you have a lot of questions on this, but I'll come to that in the next slide, which is forgiveness. Now, loving a particular person often has or faces problems when we enter into a judgmental mode. Did he do the right thing? I love my son very much. Tomorrow, when I see that he comes back home post midnight, totally drunk, I start hating him. Much of forgiveness is in the realm of I, me, myself. Long time back, I took a session on Maving Group where I discussed the layers of heavens and what happens when we die, when we leave our body after transition. What happens? I discussed in that session about judgment. And many of you, if you have not attended that session, let me tell you, the heavens, the divine doesn't judge you. It is you who judge yourself. Sometimes you don't have the capability of judging yourself in physical form, but once you are at a spiritual form, at a soul state, you realize your mistakes and you want to rectify, and you take birth again to rectify your previous mistakes. Very simple example. Killing a deer is wrong. But when a tiger kills a deer, nobody has any complaints. But both ways, the deer actually dies. If you kill a deer, the deer dies. If the tiger kills the deer dies. Perhaps if you kill the deer, the pain is much less than when the tiger kills the deer. But if you kill a deer, you will have to go through serious punishment. But if the tiger kills the deer, there is no punishment. Who are we to set the laws, the rules? We have certain laws so that the society where we reside, where we stay, can work peacefully, can follow certain norms, certain systems, certain processes. That is the way it works. So it is not we who do it. Okay. So if you talk about judgment, most of the judgment that happens is here on earth. Up there is no judgment. It is the divine who makes us feel, makes us understand what we did in the previous birth, what was right and what was wrong. And accordingly, we decide what will be our next steps, either at soul state or in physical form. But see, in physical form, we find so difficult to forgive people. You know why? It is because it is I, me, myself, my ego, me. Now, if X has raped Y in a remote village in somewhere, and you have one small two-liner message in one right corner of the newspaper, you read it and move to the next news. There is no question of forgiveness there. There is no question of irritation there. You don't even think right, wrong. Yeah, it is wrong. Okay, okay, it is wrong. But then you move to the next news. Why? Because you are not affected. But if the same news you read, you stay in Andheri West, and the news and a rape happened next door, then you are, oh, so close, you get affected. You get a bit judgmental. And the ultimate is when it happens to you, it's impossible to forgive. Why? Because it is me. So most of the time, it is about the soul state. What kind of a soul is involved in what kind of a right or wrong deed? Poor souls, very, very young souls, they have a lot of animal instinct within. They don't understand the rules of humanity. They don't understand the rules of spirituality. They look like human beings, but they are deep inside animals. So they don't have any problem in killing anybody. They don't have any problem in raping anybody. They don't have any problem in doing anything wrong. But it is the evolution of the soul. Very difficult to understand, very difficult to realize, and even more difficult to forgive. These are learnings across lifetimes. You make mistakes after mistakes and move one birth after the second, after the next, and so on, and go on taking births one after the other, hundreds and hundreds of births. And then you become, through your growth path, you become a matured soul. You become an old soul. Then you have spirituality, forgiveness, unconditional forgiveness, and all that creeps in after that. Service. This is one of the very, very controversial topic of discussion. And many a times we talk about service. We also talk about energy exchange and all of that. I can tell you my story. For me, if I have 15 people on this platform listening to me patiently, my energy exchange is over. Now, why? Every person has a different perspective for energy exchange. I remember one of my, you can say, sorry, one of my Guruji, his name was Rohit Thakkar, Rohit Bhai, in he used to stay in Dahisar, Borivali, Dahisar. So he had a person who used to come for healing. He had a very bad uh, cancer kind of a thing on his leg, and my Rohit Bhai actually healed him. And then this person one day came. Of course, I was not aware of all this. I was in his house that time when this person came, and this person came with a rose. And then again later on, when I went to Rohit Bhai's house, I found again that person coming with a rose. So I am, what is going? What is this? So I asked him. So he said that, this he's a flower seller. And okay, but why is he giving you a rose every day? Oh, that is because I healed him. Of course, through divine help. I said, okay, you healed him, but why is he giving you a rose every day? So he said that that is energy exchange for me, because this person was totally bankrupt and there was no way he could have paid anything to Rohit Bhai. So so he asked, what can I do for you? You healed me. Of course, the flower seller doesn't understand whether it is divine healing or it is Rohit Bhai's healing and all that. For him, the postmaster is the owner of the parcel. So he said, will you be able to do if whatever I ask from you? He said, yeah, of course I'll do it. You have saved my life. You have to give me a rose every day. And each month, you have to give a rose at least 25 days, not less. If you are unwell or something, or you're traveling, you have to make an arrangement that somebody reaches the rose at my doorstep every day and at least 25 days a month. He agreed. Most lovingly, he agreed. And that is what the rose story was. Now, when spiritual journey starts, or when you're in a spiritual journey altogether, the first and foremost thing, as we discussed earlier, is humility. So if I am taking the session now, I have to understand that it is not me. I am just nobody. If I'm healing somebody, if I'm offering healing to somebody, I'm not supposed to say that I healed somebody. The way we say is, and this is something that we all learned from Master Jigong Shah, that I am offering the healing. So it is not me who is healing, it is divine healing coming as an offering through me. So if divine is healing, the energy exchange should happen with whom? With me or with the divine? I think it should principally happen with the divine, not through me. So should I get nothing? Of course I should get something. So what I get is the love, is the trust. Is this gift anything less? 15 people on this platform are listening to me, at least. That is no less than a gift that anybody can give me. For me, that is energy exchange. So unconditional service is to give without expecting to get anything back, material. Okay, any material stuff getting back. That is service, unconditional service. And if you are able to reach that level of unconditional service, you will understand what is detachment. You can only bring the horse to the water. You cannot force the horse to drink water. All that we discussed today is the water. It is up to the horse to decide whether to drink the water or not to drink the water. Think about doctors, lawyers, healers. So many doctors heal a patient, treat a patient, and they save their lives. And after that, the patient doesn't even turn back after 5 days or after 10 days or after a year to come to the doctor, even without anything, just to say, thank you, doctor, you saved my life. How many people do that? Perhaps none. This is a motivation for unconditional service and detachment. When you are in the operation theater, a doctor, you are totally attached to the patient. You are doing everything to save the patient's life. The surgery is over. The patient is out of the hospital. Detachment. You move to the next patient. It has to do a lot with emotional intelligence and spiritual intelligence. Doctor's case, lawyer's case is materialistic, but it will be easy for you to understand that way. Hence, I took the example. But what comes in between us and detachment? It is again self and ego. If we are able to, win our ego and self-pride, whether the horse drinks the water or not, I don't care. It is the horse's destiny, not mine. I brought the horse to the water. Of course, divine helped me. It is through divine. I got the water. I brought the horse to the water. Up to the horse. Let the horse decide. So this is the unconditional sequence. And that brings me to an end of the session. Thank you very much. If there is any question, I can take.
Thank you, Debasis ji, for a wonderful session.
Thank you, Shobana ji.
Good morning. Is there a quick way of spiritual transformation, or rather the right path that you can carry quickly?
Yeah, so that is the whole session all about. So there is no quick remedy there. It's about so many different aspects which we have to imbibe, and then we can see how the transformation happens. So I tried to put in this presentation all the aspects that are important for the spiritual transformation to happen. And if these things are in place, then the spiritual transformation journey has started and you are deep into it.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Shamana, you can share the recording, please.
Debasis,
Yes, Sanju.
can I ask you anything? Question?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
So when you say forgiveness, unconditional forgiveness, right?
Yeah.
Let's say a crime is committed and
Yeah.
the victim has to forgive the perpetrator.
So the statement is wrong.
Okay.
The statement is wrong because just 1 second. The crime, the victim, and the person, the perpetrator. So here, when we forgive, we don't forgive a person. We forgive the soul. You are not required to forgive a physical entity at all. The soul is infinite. You have to forgive the soul of the person, not the physical being at all. Your job then becomes much easier.
Okay. So what do you do with the physical person?
That's what I mean, it's useless for you to be in a judgmental mode. The soul is so young, so nascent, that it doesn't even understand the difference between a human being and an animal. It has an animal instinct.
True, you
That
can
is what I
forgive.
was explaining.
All right, you can forgive, but then what do you need to do? You act, or do you just say, okay, and
You need to act. You need
you
to
need to
act.
act?
There are all the time, you will have some special, I shared with some of you in this platform also. There are special scripts that you need to chant, you need to pray to forgive the soul. And if you keep on doing it several times, I mean, at least a few months, then you will feel that yes, the transformation is happening within you and you have been able to forgive the soul.
No, that's not what I meant. After you forgive using scripts or whatever, you forgive, but don't you take action also? Like, suppose you are being injured or in any way, wouldn't it be right for you to put the person in prison, for example?
So it is not you. It is anyway the law will take its own course of action.
So you don't have to do anything.
What will you do there? I mean, it is the law. You have to report. Of course, if a person has done something, you have to report it.
Hmm.
You have
So
to
that
report, and law will
reporting is
take it.
also, or it's a crime where you don't, it's not a criminal thing. Let's say you can't report it for whatever reason.
Yes. If you can't report, then you have to just forgive the person.
Hmm.
I mean, again, not the person, the soul. And of course, you have to, doesn't mean that once you forgive, you have to again, gale lag ja, mera jigar ka tukra. Not that way. Okay.
Hmm.
Forgive, but at the same time, stay away.
Stay
So,
away.
I have learned a lesson from you, and I don't want to learn the same lesson again from you.
Hmm. But what if that person keeps coming back and then abusing you?
No, you have to move out. You
You
have to
can't
move
move
out
out.
of that person.
Let's say
I
you
mean,
can't move out.
then it is a fix. It is a difficult situation then.
Yeah.
But I have
Life
been
is
in
like
this kind
that.
of a
No, it's very
situation.
complicated. Someone
Yes,
might
I
give you a
have.
slap, but the same person might come back and give you another slap again.
Yeah, so the answer remains the same. You have to move out of that situation. You have to move out, and there is no way out other than that. You have to. It's not that you have to physically you have to be away from that kind of a.
Yeah, but then the person might even go and continue that same thing, might go and
That is why. That is why, once forgiven, it is important that you move away from that person.
no, but that person might go off and do the same thing somewhere else. Like you see
That
criminals.
is not that you can't help. It is his soul journey. You can't impact somebody else's soul journey.
Mhm.
That is why there is law and order in the country or wherever.
So, but that law and order is something which is defined by you. That is just you are put. That is structures which people are put in place
You are right.
just to make life simpler. So
Yes,
that is not a that's a man-made construct.
correct.
That's not a soul spiritual construct. So
Yes.
at that level, what do you do? If there is
So
nothing
you
there,
you are becoming judgmental there. So if the person did something with you and the person can do the same thing with others, it is the person and those people soul journey. And if you are connected to those person who are also getting affected, then perhaps you can share your experience and leave it there.
hmm, okay, this is according to this is one way of doing things. But do you know in Hindu tradition, I mean not Hindu thing, tradition in the Gita, they go to war, good versus evil. And they say that it's your duty to fight against not fight, I mean to overcome evil.
Yeah.
Don't just let don't just let injustice continue or happen.
Of course, if you have the right, if you have the power, then you have to report, you have to take steps so that the person doesn't repeat the same mistake again in whatever form. But the most important part is the moment we try to do something against injustice, we are seasoned as what is right, what is wrong in a judgmental mode. And then what happens is, oh, it is like a revenge. Okay, I mean, that person did something to me, so I have to make sure that he gets the right lesson.
But you can't help it, no? You can't really help it. Let's say you have a terrorist or you have some this thing. You have some dictator. What do? You let people get killed over every day.
Yeah, so
Millions of
much
them
of these,
getting killed.
that is the whole point. Much of these cases, you are helpless and you anyway cannot do anything. Now, the point that I was trying to make there is, you have to stop being so judgmental about things, because at the end of the day, you have to realize that the person who's doing it is of a much lower soul than you.
But you have to do something. No, you can't just let it happen.
Yes, whatever you can do, you do it. No problem there.
So when you
But the
do
point
it,
is not that. The point is, you have to forgive the soul. If you are not able to forgive the soul will again come in future births again with you and again keep on disturbing you. It's a karma chakra that will go on and on and on. So you have to get detached with that soul first, and then do whatever is right. If you feel that, okay, it has to take a legal path, go for the legal path. If you need to
but
warn
legal
somebody,
path is one
do
thing,
it,
no?
no problem.
If you can't go to a legal path, then what do you? You have to do it
Then you have
yourself.
to warn people if that is there, and if you take it as your life's mission to caution everybody with whom this person is talking or mingling, you do that if that gives you. But that is a sadistic pleasure.
But on the other hand, if you don't, then other people will go
It is
through
their
the same.
karma, not yours. It
Sir,
is
I
their
just want
karma.
to know one thing.
Yeah.
Now, is it the life of soul, journey of soul, or is it the life of body?
Come again.
Is it the journey of soul, or is it the life of body?
No, it is the journey of the soul. So the soul takes bodies and forms. Okay, so it is the soul. And why a person commits mistakes or blunders or sins is because of the soul state. If it is a very young soul, then it is close to animal instinct. So then the depth of the crime is much deeper than you can observe in a matured soul. So soul takes a body and we can't see the soul, we see the body. So we see that this body did something to that body. So we find it so difficult to forgive the body. Yes, we all understand that. But it is the soul which is so young, which has this animal instinct to commit those crimes. That is why I give you the example of animal world, how it happens. So in short, it is the soul journey, not the physical journey.
So after how many journeys a person comes into manhood? So we say
So that I'm not very much aware, because for every soul, it is a distinct path. So it depends on how fast the learning takes place. So the faster the learning takes place, the movement is faster. So it depends on how fast we learn and we move on. And that is different for every soul. No two souls could be the same in that respect.
So I read Gita. You see, it says that in this life, you have got manhood or whatever इंसान की शेप रूप में आए हो, तो इंसान जो है और सोल से ऊपर है, एनिमल सोल से.
Yeah, there are different versions, but insan or the human form also has different soul states.
I see.
So the infant soul will be very different than a matured soul. For example, Jesus Christ took birth as a human being. Lord Krishna took birth as a human being. But should we start comparing ourselves with Lord Krishna? Of course not. They are transcendental souls. They are human beings. They are gods in human form.
Yes.
We are not gods in human form. So there are soul states.
Hmm. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, Indrajit.
How to find a guru, and suppose if we are not able to find a guru in this lifetime, can we consider divine as our guru?
So, interesting question. Yes, many people in this world do not have the right guru, and sometimes it is better not to have a guru than having the wrong guru. So, divine can always be your guru, and if you are able to connect yourself with divine, divine will guide you throughout your journey on how you should move up the value chain in your spiritual path. And very interestingly, you will come across people who will help you at each and every point in life to move up your value chain in your spiritual journey.
Yes, thank you.
How to find a guru?
I don't have the address. So that's what I was saying. Sometimes the guru finds you,
Okay.
and sometimes you find the guru. So it's difficult to say how it happens for every person. Right now, I don't have a guru. I used to have a guru. He is no more. So for me, divine helps me all the time on how to do, what to do, and when to do.
Okay. Fine. Fine.
Follow your
So
heart.
you have to trust the divine.
Yep. Yep.
He will arrange guru for you.
Yes. 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 Absolutely.
Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Is there a special prayer you say for that?
To find the guru.
No,
I
for
have-
the divine.
For what?
Oh, you were just saying that I pray to the divine and then I get help.
No, it's the path. I mean, what I should do long term, short term. That is what the guru does. So, what should be your journey today, tomorrow, 1 year down the line, 5 years down the line? So, that is the guru's job, to show you the path. So, when you don't have a guru, you have to pray to the divine to show the path. That's all. Very simple.
Hello, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
thank
Thank you.
हेलो
Yes, Mittal Saab. Yes.
सर वो कृष्ण भगवान गीता में बोलते हैं ना आत्मा अजर है अमर है वो उसके बारे में थोड़ा डिटेल में बताइए ना सर
डिटेल में बताने का तो टाइम नहीं है अभी हमारे पास, लेकिन वही बात हम लोग कर रहे थे कि आत्मा जो है सोल इज लाइक एनर्जी. सोल नेवर डाइज. इट जस्ट changes the form, moves from one physical body to another physical body. And when it changes from one physical body to another physical body, obviously your purpose of life also changes, and you try to become a better and better and better human being with every birth you take. So that is how you move up the value chain and become a better and better soul. Your soul standing improves. The kind of soul you are, that becomes better and better with every birth that we take. That is the purpose of taking birth. Before taking birth at the soul state, we all take resolutions that what we need to achieve in this birth, and we all try to abide by it very subconsciously, and we try to move up the value chain to become a better soul. सो ये आत्मा जो अमर है, आत्मा आत्मा का हमेशा कोशिश ये रहता है मैं और बेहतर कैसे बनूं, सो दैट आई कैन मर्ज विद द डिवाइन, जिसको हम मोक्ष बोलते हैं. सो दैट इज द अल्टीरियर पर्पस.
मोक्ष के बाद में
सॉरी,
मोक्ष के बाद में वापस से रीबर्थ नहीं होता है ह्यूमन का. मोक्ष
नहीं
का
नहीं,
मतलब ये होता है.
रीबर्थ का कॉन्सेप्ट अलग है. रीबर्थ, अब एक बार हम लोग शरीर छोड़ के ऊपर जाते हैं तो इट डिपेंड्स ऑन अस वेदर वी वांट टू टेक बर्थ राइट नाउ और नॉट. द सोल हैज द राइट टू डिसाइड whether to take birth or not to take birth. But when you are not taking birth, it takes a much longer time to move up the value chain. So that is why we take birth, because high risk, high gain. Okay. So, but there are certain souls who have taken hundreds of births, maybe even 500 births, and they have reached a certain level which is much above, and they need to be, they are better off there than here. So उसको मोक्ष बोल सकते हैं आप. जैसे लॉर्ड कृष्णा, जीसस क्राइस्ट, there are so many transcendental souls that we have seen on earth. They don't need to take birth every time. They took birth to prove something, to help humanity understand a few concepts, a few things. They have done their job and they have gone back. So maybe sometime again later on, somebody like that will take birth. They'll complete their work and they will go back.
Sir, I have a request.
Yeah.
And it is, can you please make us do certain practices where we can truly open our spiritual channels and align ourselves more with the divine?
The crux of today's session was that mostly it was that how do you become more spiritual. That was the purpose. But practice, yes, we can do some practices, but it is mostly within, it is mostly you, not it doesn't lie in anybody else. It is all within us. But yes, yeah, we can discuss and see how we can do it. Okay, I think it's time to stop now. Shabana ji.